Dear students, this is Manoj Kushwaha. Today we will discuss the subject power system analysis, in which we will study the comparison of various load flow methods. The load flow methods I am talking about are the Gauss-Seidel method, Newton-Raphson method, and the decoupled load flow method, which is actually the approximated Newton-Raphson method, and also the fast decoupled load flow method, FDLF method. So first we will discuss mainly the Gauss-Seidel and Newton-Raphson method. Actually, both these methods are using Y-bus, and it is experienced that Gauss-Seidel method works well when programmed using rectangular coordinates instead of polar coordinates, whereas the Newton-Raphson method requires less memory if we are using the polar coordinates instead of rectangular coordinates. So in Gauss-Seidel method we prefer rectangular coordinates, and in Newton-Raphson method we prefer polar coordinates. This is one thing which we will discuss at the start. Why? So that we have a basic idea of a difference between Gauss-Seidel method and Newton-Raphson method using the polar and rectangular coordinates. Also, if we are talking about the Gauss-Seidel method, we can say that the solution of one iteration is completed in very few arithmetic operations in comparison to Newton-Raphson method. Why? Because of the sparsity of the network matrix and also the simplicity of the solution technique in Gauss-Seidel method. So we can say that the time per iteration in Gauss-Seidel method will be less than Newton-Raphson method. Basically, what happens in Newton-Raphson method, in this method the elements of the Jacobians are computed in each iteration, so the time consumed is quite high. And if we are talking about a typical large system, then we can say that the time per iteration in a Newton-Raphson method is around 7 times that of Gauss-Seidel method. This I am saying about the time per iteration for both the systems. Also, the time per iteration in both of these systems increases almost directly as the number of buses is increased. If we are talking about the convergence rate, then we can say that in Gauss-Seidel method the convergence rate is quite slow. Basically, Gauss-Seidel method has linear convergence characteristics, which requires a high number of iterations to obtain a solution than a Newton-Raphson method, which has a quadratic convergence characteristic. Quadratic convergence characteristic is best characteristic of convergence among all the methods. Also, the number of iterations for a Gauss-Seidel method increases directly as the number of buses of the network, whereas the number of iterations for a Newton-Raphson method remains practically constant around 3 to 5 iterations are needed to achieve a solution for a large system. Also, in Gauss-Seidel method, the convergence is affected by the choice of the slack bus and also the presence of series capacitor. But in Newton-Raphson method, these things affect very little on the convergence. So we can say that Gauss-Seidel method has a doubtful convergence because the choice of slack bus and other things are to be taken care of, whereas in Newton-Raphson method the convergence is not affected, so a certain convergence is achieved. So we can say that Gauss-Seidel method is a slow method if we are talking about the convergence. One thing. Second thing which is against the Gauss-Seidel method is its doubtful convergence. And the third thing which is against the Gauss-Seidel method is that the number of iterations is almost directly proportional to the number of buses. It means if we are talking about the large power system, then Gauss-Seidel method requires so many number of iterations in comparison to Newton-Raphson method, which has a fixed number of iterations, around 3 to 5 iterations. So from these things we can say that for large system, Newton-Raphson method is faster, more accurate and more reliable than the Gauss-Seidel method. And if we are having a very small system having 4 or 5 buses, let's say, then we should choose Gauss-Seidel method instead of Newton-Raphson method, because the number of iterations in Gauss-Seidel method is also now very small, means very few, and since the time taken per iteration in Gauss-Seidel method is quite low in comparison to Newton-Raphson method, so we will achieve a solution in less time by using Gauss-Seidel method if we have a small power system. These things are written here and you can easily find it here. Also, the main advantage of Gauss-Seidel method is the ease of programming and most efficient utilization of the core memory. But again, as I have already said, that its use is restricted to small size systems because of its doubtful convergence and longer time needed for solution of large power systems. If we are talking about the FDLF method, means fast decoupled load flow method, then we can say that here, because of the approximation in the sense few approximations are done in FDLF method so that the memory requirement can be less, as well as the time for the solution in one iteration will also be reduced. And basically These are the approximations which are based on the weak coupling between P and delta and Q and V. P and delta means the real power and bus voltage angles, and also QV means the reactive power and voltage magnitude. So, by the use of these things, we first make decoupled load flow method, and further approximations and assumptions are made to make it FDLF method, means fast decoupled load flow method. These assumptions are such as cos delta I, that may be taken as 1, sin delta is a may be taken as 0, and few matrices in the Jacobians are also assumed as negligible, and also the entries of H and L submatrices will be simplified considerably using these assumptions. So, we can say that FDLF method is a faster method, but here the convergence is geometric. It means 2 to 5 iterations are normally required for practical accuracies, but it is more reliable than the formal Newton-Raphson method. This is due to the fact that the elements B dash matrix, submatrix and B double dash are fixed approximations to the tangents of the defining function, which are delta P by mod V and delta Q by mod V, and there are no sensitivity of any humps in the defining functions. FDLF method can be employed in optimization studies and is especially used for accurate information of both real and reactive power for multiple comparison of load flow method studies. If we are using FDLF method, then the storage requirement is quite less in comparison to the Newton-Raphson method. It is, we can say that around 60%, only 60% of the Newton-Raphson method, but it has a slight more storage requirement if we compare it with decoupled load flow method. So, in this way we can see that all these methods have some advantages and some limitations over some specific size of power system. So, we use these methods based upon in which power system we have to implement the load flow. Thank you.